Now boarding Canadian Pacific Train Number 1, the Canadian, en route to Bolton, Mactier, Parry Sound, Sudbury, Cartier, Biscotacy, Ramsey, Sultan, Cormac, Nemagus, and Chaplow. Now boarding on track 6. Please have your ticket to ride.
Hi, 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 hi.
Hide, 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 ho. Buddy, that felt pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Great. This is great. Let's try that again.
Hi, 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 hi.
Hide, 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 ho.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? I said, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to the land of the sleeping giant, my sweet home Thunder Bay. I said, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? I said, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to the land of flying eagles, my sweet home in Thunder Bay. Well, 17 goes east and 17 goes west, but everybody knows that 61's the best side of here. Baby, don't you wanna go? Back from the lands west of Uppsala to my sweet home, Thunder Bay. Well, 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 2 is 4. I'm booked, I'm heavy loaded, I'm booked, I gotta go. Hidey, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? Back from the lands east of Uppsala to my sweet home, Thunder Bay. I said, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Yeah, I said, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back from the land of many waters, my sweet home, Thunder Bay. Yeah, yeah, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Yeah. I said, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to my high school in Thunder Bay. Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much. What do you think of our new band here at 5433?
And hi, my name is Hugh.
And I'm Rob. And we come from the land of the ice and snow.
Yeah. Some people say if you come from the land of the ice and snow, you probably live in an igloo.
You probably heard someone from the south say that, but we know it's not true, right?
Little igloos in a snowbank, little igloos made of snow and ice, little igloos in a snowbank, little igloos all the same.
Don't believe them.
We're so glad you decided to buy a ticket to ride and come out with us on the rails tonight.
Hey, back
Hang
in
on,
time,
everybody.
Amy, quick. Did we not check the flux capacitors on the old DeLorean before we left? Well, folks, tonight we hope to bring you a few laughs, better than the last one, baby, and a few fond memories on our trip back in time.
But first, we want to let you know we're not big-time equity players, just like Tom said. And we're not crossing the picket line, where the writers strike.
Right.
And we're not big-time comedians. We're just two northern boys telling it the way we saw it. Now, we may look a little edgy, but folks, that's the magic of theater.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think we're looking pretty damn fine tonight, really. But, looks can be deceiving. So if you hear us say at any point of our show, talk amongst yourselves, we got a red light, or this would be a good time to check your messages, we just jumped the rail on that old script. Once again.
Yeah. Now, I guess you're all wondering, who are the Gray Street Gang?
Well, Hugh and I are what's left of the gang, We're the third generation of railway kids who grew up in the same street as their parents and their parents, man.
You're probably wondering what a railway kid is, unless you are one. Any railway kids out here?
Where are you?
Come on, admit it.
Well, a railway kid has kind of been raised by a single mom and a phantom dad.
Yeah. We were free range. Our moms ruled the roost.
Yeah, with just a wooden spatula and the tone of her voice.
Yeah, you knew you were in deep trouble when she said,
Just wait till your father gets in. I have a little story I like to tell about how my grandpappys got to the Gray Street. In the early 1900s, there was 3 young lads. They got on a train and left the Ottawa Valley looking for work. They ended up in North Bay with a short layover, and much to the chagrin, all the pubs were closed.
Oh, shameful.
No drinky, no funny. Well, as luck had it, there was a reception at a local hotel.
Oh.
Yeah, man. They knew there'd be plenty of liquor, and all they had to do was, blend in with that crowd, and it was all in the house.
Brilliant idea there, Sarge.
Well, when you crash a party, there's only a couple of ways it can go, right? Yeah, the boys skedaddled out of there in a hurry with the wedding party hot on their heels. The 3 amigos made a dash for the train station where, Hari went east and my dad and Christy went west to the Gray Street.
Wow. Well, my grandfather's arrival in Chapleau wasn't so boozy.
Really?
He was a religious man and came from Pontiac County and became a fireman on the railroad. Yeah. And my other grandfather, Zufeld, now he came from North Bay and opened one of the first bakeries in Chapleau. Yeah, it wasn't too long before he was rolling in the dough and, a couple of buns in the oven.
Well, as railway kids, we always enjoyed those buns that your grandpa put together there. But, our dads had perks because they worked for the CPA. We could travel anywhere the rails went in Canada, man.
Yeah, even when we were teens, even if we didn't have a ticket to ride, we knew every engineer on every train. After all, we were the sons of the Gray Street Gang, man. So they'd let us hop on the second unit of a fast-moving eastbound freight train. I've been from old Vancouver right down to Newfoundland. I've traveled through old Canada and I'll travel through again. My heart is like the 3 wise men once guided by a star. I left my home to wander on the flying CPR. And you hear that big 8-wheeler go tripping down the rail. We're on the flying CPR, and believe me, she can sail. Oh, take me flying, whizzing on, away from a trifling girl. 'Cause I know by the way that whistle whines, we're going to span the world. Go rumble through the mountains, go flashing by the sea. Go flying across the countryside to keep the blues from me. Oh, tell me, Mr. Porter, can I play my old guitar? And I'll sing a song for the passengers of the flying CPR. Well, you heard of the mighty rocket train, the old-time cannonball. Well, it looked like they were going backwards when the flyer met them all. The Canadian Pacific, I'm sure you'll know by far. You'll get your lifetime thrill, I know, on the flying CPR. I told my two-time girlie when I heard that whistle moan, it means your daddy is gonna leave and I'm leaving town alone. I've got another little girly friend who'll mend my heart by gar. I better go roll my blues away on the flying CPR. I better go roll my blues away on the flying CPR.
Man, it's hot in here, isn't it? We just went off the rail on our script there. Red light.
Check your messages.
Well, have you guys heard this one? You know, it was said that our parents' generation were the greatest generation. There they are. The ones that grew up through the Great Depression, WW2. You know, they were our heroes. You know, MJ, right there, taught me a few guitar chords and how to drive his dump truck.
Hey, yeah, and Uncle Tombstone, now he showed us how to operate the front end loader and walk the bulldozer. Yeah, and your dad, WD, now he showed us how to drink beer and smoke ciggies and get up and go to work every morning.
They were badasses, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't tell us a thing about that part.
Yeah, they did it all, man. Poaching furs in the game preserve and never getting pinched. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
And as a young lad, my dad even smuggled hot beaver pelts with Hamill Robinson, old Hamill Robinson, took him down to Pembroke to the fur market.
Well, you know, this greatest generation didn't have the internet or phones and all that shit to have a good time. You know, they lived life in what we now call real time.
Yeah, because really the Great White North was their playground.
Oh, yeah, man, they enjoyed plenty of fish.
Fishing, that is. And we're not just talking pickerel either.
And they enjoyed the weekend glamping trips.
Yeah, a little camping. Now, do you remember 10 Downing Street? The old boathouse where the Grey Street gang hung out. It looked better in those days.
Well, absolutely. You know, we thought that boathouse was a gentleman's club because they would never let us kids in ever.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us in. But they'd be in there voting on important issues, like who's picking up the 2-4 for the hunt down the river later. They'd be in there smoking their ciggies, drinking beer, playing cards, and raising a little hell. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. You don't like what you got, why don't you change it? If your world is all screwed up, rearrange it. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. Raise a little hell, raise a little hell, raise a little hell. So, I guess you could say we came by our hell raising honestly, didn't we, Hellboy?
Well, we are the shenanigans. We're the Grey Street shenanigan guys, you know. We were the television generation, McQuays are.
Yeah.
You know, we had telephones, transistor radios, microwave ovens, and even color TV. buddy, you know, with all this stuff, I gotta tell you, we turned out pretty damn amazingly.
Average Canadians. But on Gray Street, you know, as kids, we all raided gardens, okay? Hey, who's done that? And we played street hockey, and we'd explored all kinds of places. And you know, we've been exploring the world ever since.
Well, you know that Hugh and I, we drove the neighbors crazy. Hard to believe, eh? Well, especially old Earl Southern. He was always chasing us down for picking his coveted dewworms and then selling downtown to the Americans on the open market.
Yeah. Then, bam, the bottom fell out of the dewworm market in '72. All the Gray Street kids had to go higher on the railroad. But, you know, we didn't stay long. We headed for brighter lights. Right, Aaron? Yeah. Well, okay, my brother went to Spanish when he met a beautiful bank teller at the Scotia Bank. And he whisked his new bride off to Moosonee. How about that? And I traveled to the Far East on a gold currency exchange program in the black market. Unfortunately, that's when I spent 3 months as a guest at the Young Dong Po Golf and Country Club.
Yeah, McGoldsmith. Do you remember sending me a letter from the country club?
Yeah.
Man, I had tears in my eyes when I got it. You know, you were going to be late getting to Moody Lake that summer.
Well, once I resolved my issues with the Koreans, I settled in Ottawa. And yeah, you, buddy, you took your wife and your new son, Aaron, and not so little now, on a train ride to Thunder Bay for the long weekend and never came back. I was toting my pack along the dirty old railroad when along came a work train and a gang in a canvas-covered load. If you're going to White River, Mac, with me you can ride. So I climbed up in the engine and I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a train with so much rust and steel, and I said, listen, bud, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man, I've been everywhere, man. Crossed the Mustangs bare, man, I breathed the diesel's air, man. Of trains I've had my share, man, I've been everywhere. I've been to Ottawa, Smith Falls, North Bay, Sudbury, Cartier, Biscoe, Ramsey, Shopville, Mississippi, White River, Helmlo, Shupka, Marathon, Stryver, Terrace Bay, Nipmuc, Red Rock, Blue Lake, Mackenzie, Dorian, Thunder Bay, Mount McKay, Kekafuck, Becca Falls. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the diesel's bare, man. I breathe the diesel's air, man. Of trains I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Canberra, Cavlock, Brancroft, Barry's Bay, Berkshire, Killu, Compton, Sheenborough, Quadville, Golden Lake, Ashton, Lee, Cormac, Case, Plastrolic, Middleton, Verner, Warren, Coggin, Walco, Pugmasy, Sudbury, Wawa. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the diesel's bare, man. I breathe the diesel's air, man. Trains I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Whoa. 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 How many of you been to any of those places? Like who's been to Shumka?
Maybe when you're young and wild and you hitchhike through some of these towns on your cross Canada vacation, you know, you stopped in maybe Wawa. You all been, anybody been stuck up in the pavement there? Not so funny.
The annual vacation Every summer it was the same old song and dance, my friend.
Yeah, man, we packed the old car with everything we owned. All the pets included. Luckily, though, we could have a dozen kids in the back of the old chicken coop de ville, couldn't we?
And the rooftop carrier was always reserved for Granny.
Finally, you get your motor running. You head down Highway 61. Born to be wild. You're looking for adventure in whatever comes your way.
Oh, now, how many out there have made these summer vacation memories?
You know, like frying in the back seat of the car because there was no air conditioning.
Sleeping in the rain in a leaky tent, swatting mosquitoes and black flies all night long.
Well, how about choking on the old sweet Caparel cigarette smoke on the long and silent drive back home? Frickin' good times, eh?
Though every now and then we'd get lucky and travel like rock stars on the rails.
Anybody remember the Grateful Dead? Yeah, man, they liked to travel the rails, didn't they? And this is what Jerry Garcia said about that.
Driving that train, high on cocaine. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. Trouble ahead, trouble behind. And you know that notion just crossed my mind.
Woo! We like the Dead. Well, I don't know about you, Hawker Sidley, but I sure miss the Canadian. You know, it had the fancy sleeper cars, fancy dining cars, porters, and even newsies, man. And the dome car. Not quite the Mile High Club, but it was a Canadian thing. You know, call me nostalgic, but that was the way to rock and roll, my friends.
Well, traveling from Ottawa up to Chapleau, we students would be in the bar car all the way to Sudbury. Yeah. And then we'd sashay over to the Lido Hotel for a couple of
Who's
cold
been
ones.
there?
Who's ever done that? Oh, yeah. And then we'd slither on back up to the dome car like snakes on a train.
Man, and if you didn't like partying with snakes on a train, you know, you could always fly.
Oh, yeah. Up north, we fly lots. Mostly in the Beaver, though. Living in Chapleau on Gray Street, we could always tell when Stan DeLuce's Beaver was taking off on the Front River.
That's right, Eagle Wing, and there's nothing like taking a beaver for a ride, is there?
Oh, take off, RJ. Now, flying was great until 9/11. Then, bam, all air traffic came to a halt. Who remembers that? Yeah, even the beavers on the river couldn't fly. Damn it, they were off limits.
Who likes air travel now anyways? Yeah. Damn it, isn't it a pain in the ass? You know that Hugh and I had a really enjoyable trip last summer, didn't we? Yeah, you got it, we drove. You know, we packed our gear up with our picks and shovels and we headed down to the Ottawa Valley for a little visit.
Yeah, we were looking to dig up some old relatives, maybe. Yeah, do a little family research. But you know, we couldn't find a whole hell of a lot of information about the old Jardines and the McGoldricks and the Smalls and all our other family. What we did find, though, is a whole new culture rising in the valley. The weed culture. Oh, yeah. We visited the former Hershey chocolate factory that turned into the Tweed factory, and then last week it turned back into a Hershey factory.
Buddy, you gotta have some chocolate bunnies to figure that one out, right?
We'll have to go back. And we stopped at as many mom and pop dispensaries as we could find along the way.
Oh, yeah. You know, back in our hometown, you know, our dispenser, you know, the guy behind the pool hall table there in the back corner, dimly lit, you know, that guy. Well, he only carried a couple of things like, Mexican, Thai stick, and maybe a little Acapulco Gold from time to time, and that was it.
Wait. What about Nipigon No Buzz?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Eh?
And here we go with some new names arising on up in the valley. Product names, unbelievable.
Yeah. Like I'm off the rails when I smoked that train wreck.
Me too, and that's why I smoked the ghost train.
And when I smoke BC God Bud, it's a heavenly high.
And in church, Arden, Hewan, and I really like to enjoy a little Sunday strudel before we sing.
Oh, yeah, and after church, always slap and tickle.
Okay, Dirk Jiggler, though, tonight we're going to be twisting some purple monkey balls. Oh, yeah. Well, people, I bet you all heard of the classic Koner, right? Well, the big question is, how many people out there really know how to roll a classic Koner? Or do you just go down to the dispensers now and pick up a 6-pack of blunts?
Nice. Well, as kids, we sure loved it when our hero, Pierre Burton, explained to Canadians how to roll a Koner. Hey, who remembers that? And who remembers him? I mean, he was Canada's foremost authority on trains and now apparently on doobies. Multi-talented.
Yeah, step number 1. Use only Ontario hydrophonics.
Always use a copy of his book, The National Dream, to roll it on.
And Mr. Burton says, never, never, never use colored papers to roll with.
Roll outwards. Let your thumbs do the work. Now, for those of you who text with your thumbs, it's not going to be a problem for you.
Yeah, wet, not too wet, and then seal it.
Because as Pierre said, it's loose joints that'll have you coming off the rails, folks.
Just like the other one, you've been holding on to it, and I sure would like a hit. Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. Me. Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me.
I'm sure you heard that one growing up.
Well, as we rolled through the valley, we couldn't dig up relatives, and we found a lot of weed. But we've also bumped into a lot of Canucks, average Canucks, who look just like us.
Really? They look like us?
Yeah.
Just a minute. Have a look at this picture.
Yeah.
They look like us, hats, coats, and maybe even that. I don't think so, man.
Well, similar.
Hey, well, maybe a little bit. But Hawk, we'd roll that one up. Why are we fondly referred to as Canucks? What is a Can-uck anyways? Is there an F missing?
Well, I read in the Beaver that a Canuck is an apologetic, unarmed American with health care who knows how to make love in a canoe.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but shagging in a canoe does not come naturally. You've got to practice, practice, practice.
We all know it's not the canoe or the practice, it's the little black flies. And the black flies, the little black flies, always the black flies, no matter where you go. I'll die with the black flies picking my bones in North Ontario, in North Ontario. 'Twas early in the spring when I decided to go for work up in the woods in North Ontario. And the unemployment office said they'd send me through to the little Abitibi and the survey crew. And the black flies, the little black flies, always the black flies, no matter where you go. I'll die with the black flies picking my bones in North Ontario, in North Ontario. Black flies.
Ah, the beaver, the Castor canadensis, once Canada's national pet and symbol of prosperity. Did you know?
Okay, Gray Owl. Now the only place you can find them is jingling in your pocket or on the back of the big nickel over in Sudbury.
Well, if you think about it, the beaver is ingrained in our culture. Did you know when W.D., my dad, retired from the railway, he took to the bush and started a 30-year love affair trapping beaver? You know, clearly we have a little soft spot for this fur ball. And we commonly refer to them as our eager beavers.
Yeah, and who doesn't like a busy beaver?
And Hugh and I just want to make this perfectly clear that Winona's big brown beaver doesn't live in Canada.
And Justin Bieber is not a beaver.
Well, folks, now that we're up to speed on Justin Bieber and the real Canadian beaver, let's talk about another Canadian thing. Canada's toque.
Yeah, when it's cold out, we wear the toque. We all had one growing up. But nowadays, even when it's warm out, we've got the summer toque.
Yeah. You know, beaver pelts are out and sheep's wool is back in again. You think we got our grannies back to work knitting toques? You know, save a beaver, shave a sheep, I say.
Now on Gray Street, we all loved our baseball hats. They were like the fedora. Today's high fashion. Yeah, see, Uncle, there's WD with his fedora and my Uncle Sharky there smoking a cigarette with his hat up. Yeah. They were, the cool guys would bend the caps and flip them up. But nobody, some would even wear them sideways, but no one ever wore their hat, I won't even do it, backwards on Gray Street. That wouldn't work.
Well, now get used to it. Everybody wears the hats on backwards so they can display their $350 Ray-Bans properly. And on top of their $250 Norvell Morrisseau forgery hat.
Hey, now do you remember the baseball caps with beer can holsters on them? You had one there, Bacon Lips.
Well, you know, stop that, Mr. McGoldie. Are you talking about Canada's national drink?
Ah,
beer?
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what? That's one of my favorites, too.
Yeah, the Ziphophile, lover of beer.
Well, buddy, I see a lot of Ziphophiles out there tonight, and most of them are our friends.
Yeah.
Hey, why do Ziphophiles love their beer?
Well, it pairs nicely with fava beans and beaver.
You don't say. And why do Canadian men love their beer? Well, it creates a sense of bonding and a sense of community.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure you can't just survive on beer alone in that community.
Really? Well, that's why there's draft beer. Beer's unruly cousin.
Oh, yeah. Up north here we had Doran's,
Yeah?
Keka fucking Becca Crystal,
You remember that one?
Northern Brewery, and Sioux Falls Breweries.
Yeah, man, they were the North's first craft breweries. Yeah, we didn't call them craft breweries, did we?
Yeah, we call them draft breweries. There's a tear in my beer, 'cause I'm crying for you, dear. You are on my lonely mind. Into these last 9 years, I have shed a million tears. You are on my lonely mind. Now, do you remember Molson Joe? Remember? He described average Canadians as beer drinking, hockey loving, flannel wearing, poutine eating, butter tart licking, tragically hip Canucks.
Oh, yeah, man, I kind of remember that guy on TV. But the Joes I really remember were in the sandbox playing with their dump trucks, man. We were all named Joe. We all had nicknames.
That's true, eh? Joe, Bean.
Well, excuse me, Cadillac Jack. Are we going to get into the nickname thing already?
Well, there's nowhere in the world where a nickname is more popular than our little hometown of Shaplonia.
That's for sure, buddy. You know, my mom's nickname was Teely, and her brothers gave Teely her nickname. And of course, Teely gave me my first nickname. She called me Ned.
Aww.
Now Ned has 7 or 8 nicknames. And Julio, you don't get to pick any of them. Ha! My wife Karen figures that in the old days in our hometown that everybody had to have a nickname so that it would appear that Shaplonia was bigger than Wawa.
Now, what about the Canadian accent? Well, I'll be go to hell. You don't say bye. Well, I'll be pooped.
Well, you know, that's from Newfoundland, and you know its nickname is The Rock. But are you guys familiar with the Ottawa Cowshit Valley accent?
Donnez-moi le hammer. Je voulais un hamburgeois et les French fries.
Yeah, that's up the Ottawa River, but when you cross over the Ottawa River into Quebec, man, that's a whole different state of affairs, ST.
They swear like les Coeurs de Bois, Colis tabernacle, while eating their creton et cipère.
Well, hey, Hawk, I didn't know you knew so much Coeur de Bois. I apologize, I don't know much about my grandmother's first language, eh, mon Dieu.
Hey, apology accepted. But you know what's making me uncomfortable right now? It's the heat wave we're having. Whew. The AccuWeather says the UV index is going to be off the rails. It's going to be a real scorcher.
Yeah, man, it's time to pull out that summer toque and maybe pour a cold draft from the Sleeping Giant Brewery, and it's time to hydrate and put on the sunblock. Up here in Thunder Bay, you need a sunblock factor of 99 to make it through the frickin' day. Thanks to the hole in the ozone layer, people.
To Hockey Night in Canada. Bienvenue au soirée de hockey de Canada.
Tonight's game is brought to your friends at Molson's. You know you're drinking Molson's because the other team is drinking Saint-Con.
And Sweet Caporal cigarettes. Get the full rich flavor in every pack of Sweet Caps while enjoying your favorite sports team on TV.
Man, you gotta love those old commercials, right? Yeah, they were great. You guys remember the one and only game of the week? The black and white game. The only NHL game on one time a week. Yeah.
Yeah, there wouldn't be anybody on the street on Gray Street when the game was on. You'd be over at my house, laying on the living room floor. We'd be eating popcorn, wearing our Davy Keon PJs, and waiting for the puck to drop. Oh yeah, while MJ was lying on the sleeping between whistles and off-gassing on the Chesterfield.
Man, I think every kid in Canada knew all the announcers and couldn't wait to hear Foster Hewitt say, "The gloves are coming off."
That's when we knew.
Yeah.
That's when we knew a real hockey game was breaking out.
Oh yeah, game on, just like in Shaplonia when the Huskies took on the Wawa Travelers. Yeah, man. It was nothing like seeing Little Mac and the boys in a bench clearing brawl in that game, was there?
Hello out there. We're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. Tension grows, whistle goes, and the game goes down the chain. Oh, someone rolls, hey, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name.
Sing on!
And the best game you can name It's the good old hockey game. Ah, we love our hockey, don't we? It's in our DNA. But God knows we love our music too.
Well, only in Canada, eh? If it's Canadian, it's great.
Yeah. We heard some great songs right there on Gray Street. Oh yeah, WG and MJ, they learned to sing and play Hank Snow, Tommy Hunter, and from out Alberta way, Wilf Carter, the yodeling hillbilly. All around the water tanks, waiting for a train. I'm a million miles away from home, sleeping in the rain. I haven't got a breath to give him a line of talk. He said, if you've got money, I'll see that you don't walk. Well, I haven't got a nickel, not a penny can I show. Get off, you railway bug. And he slammed the boxcar door.
Hey, Yodelmeister, I didn't know you could yodel so well. What do you folks think? Not bad, eh? Maybe Yodel Hawk here to record an album, maybe go on tour with maybe, you know, Celine Diodel, maybe Lady Yodel Gaga.
Maybe my best yodeling days are behind me, but when I was yodeling on the railroad, man, I could tell you this. A train wreck was a engineer's worst nightmare. WD, RJ's dad, he was in a train wreck in Karcher, pinned for hours under the hot steel, and he lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, man, my dad was one of the first people in Canada to have a skin graft. And do you know what Frank Soda said about skin grafts? Anybody? Well, when you kiss them my face, you kiss them my ass.
They gave him his orders at Karcher Station, saying, you're way behind time. This is not 38, this is old 97. You must get her into Japlo on time. Well, I looked around and said to Douglas, my fireman, shovel on a little more coal. And when we hit the top of Old Reefall, you can watch 97 roll. Through the mighty rough trade, doing 90 miles an hour, when the whistle went into a scream, he was found in the wreck with his hands on the throttle, near scalded to death by the steam. Now listen, ladies, you all must take a warning from this time on and learn. Never speak harsh words to your true love and husband. He may leave you and never return.
Thank you, and that is a real story.
Ah, I love that song. But bam, there was a new man on the station platform. No, it wasn't Rick Mercer, it wasn't Stompin' Tom.
Paul Schaefer?
Wasn't Artie Fufkin. No, this new guy's name was Aaron.
Aaron?
Elvis Presley.
Hey, McElvis. You know, I've been to Graceland twice. Twice, for sure. You know, I'm one of Elvis's biggest fans, buddy. I've got a t-shirt, dress shirt, and 2 coffee mugs to prove it.
Well, I may not have the shirt or the mugs, but I'm just as big an Elvis fan as you are. Oh, yeah, I think we got a TCB. Take care of a little business and send this song out to all the Elvis fans here tonight. Cheers. May your hips and lips shake forever. May your rocks always roll. Raise up your chalice to the king of rock and roll. Train to ride 16 coaches long. Train to ride 16 coaches long. Well, that long black train got my baby gone. Train, coming round the bend. Train, coming round the bend. Well, it took my baby, but it never will again. Hell yeah. Train, coming down the line. Train, coming down the line. Well, it's bringing my baby, 'cause she's mine, all mine. Train, coming round the bend. Train, coming round the bend. Well, it took my baby, but it never will again. No, not again, no, not again.
Excuse me, may we have your attention?
Elvis has left the building.
And so will we. We're taking a short break. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome back, all you beautiful people.
Excellent.
And welcome aboard the Festival Peace Train. Peace out there, 5433.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, for all you freaks and hippies, I want to board the Grateful Dead coach. It's open now.
And all those who are booked for the electric Kool-Aid acid test and free sex, trip on over to the Joplin coach.
And for all you folks who want to turn on and tune in and drop out, please sashay on down to the Dome car.
Now, they say if you can remember the 60s, you weren't there.
Well, Hugh and I were there. Unfortunately, we can remember everything about the 60s, even the purple microbian dots.
Yeah, microbian dots.
Have you ever had a flashback about
Oh,
those
yeah.
dots?
Yeah.
He's having one now.
Who's had a flashback about those days?
He just had one.
Just had a red light there.
Well, you know, the times are a-changing, my friends. You know, everybody in town seemed they were like listening to Joni Mitchell, Gordon Lightfoot. What's that young guy's name?
Neil.
Neilius Young. You know, it seemed like everybody got a guitar and were playing this song.
friends, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Ah, good old Bob. But then it happened, bam! The electric guitar burst onto the scene, even up in Northern Ontario. There were rock concerts everywhere. Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, right here in Thunder Bay. The Negatives even played out in Rossport. Wipeout!
Rock and roll's here to stay. Whew. You know, the 60s was a wipeout and smoking good time for us. And I'm just not talking ciggies. You know, the little green leaf was a long way from being on the shelf and legal, my friends.
Yeah, smoking was everywhere. I even remember having a cancer stick while talking to my doctor in his office. Who's done that? Mind if I have a smoke, Frank, while you tell me about my health? Oh,
Well, in our little hometown, probably like Fort Francis, right, Artie? You know, Oh, God, we have some Fort Frannies here. Well, you know, in the local restaurants, there was always a smoking section, right? Not. The whole place was a frickin' smoking section. You know, you and Joe the cook could spark up anywhere you want, including the kitchen or washrooms. And you know what? Nobody had to smoke outside.
Yeah, everybody smoked everywhere. And it sure made quitting a hard thing to do.
Can I offer you one? Oh, no.
Yeah. Now, the first day I quit smoking was the day I was born. Cold turkey. Yeah, they slapped me on the ass, offered me a boob, but all I really wanted was a freaking smoke, Frank. Instead, I got the thermometer up my butt.
Smoke that cigarette.
Puff, 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 and if you puff yourself to death, tell St. Peter that's okay, that he really hates to make it wait. You just gotta have another cigarette.
Now, were any of you love children there for the British invasion in the 60s? I'm not talking the Austin Powers version. I'm talking the real British invasion of the 60s, you know? It seemed like everybody in every small town was giving this rock and roll thing a go. Even Paul Schaefer and the Fugitives.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, behave, Daddy-o. You and I heard our first live kid band on Gray Street Lane back in the 60s.
Oh, yeah, man, that was a great day. You know, Murray was on drums, Larry Ritchie played bass, and Jimmy sang guitar and sang. You know, those boys were laying down some mighty fine grooves that evening, and little did I know that I was going to have to do this too. And like a bass, I was hooked.
Wait, did you say Murray McLaughlin, Jimi Hendrix, and Lionel Richie?
No.
Oh, that band was... Hit it, boys! I'm not your stepping stone. I'm not your stepping stone. You try to make your mark in the Shaplow scene. You're using all those tricks that you used on me. I dare see you're reading those magazines. The clothes you bought in Wawa causing public shame. I'm not your stepping stone. I'm not your stepping stone.
members of the Monkees.
Now, from 2 doors down, I could hear this music coming from your basement on Gray Street, your mom and dad's place.
Oh, yeah.
You were learning a new song, a Stone song they've been playing on WLS Chicago radio. Eh?
Yeah, man.
Who
that
listens
song,
to WLS?
you guys get that up here, WLS? Yeah, well, you know, that song was about the 60s generation and the long-haired hippies and the generation who could never, never, never be satisfied. man.
Yeah, I still can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no reaction. But I try, and I try, and I try, and I try. I can't get no. I can't get no.
You know, when I was in grade 8, a couple of my friends and I got a little band together, and we were called the High Zone. Yeah, man. And this song we're about to play is one of our favorite songs. You know, we love that song because of this particular sound. Groovy, eh? Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
Now I don't hardly know her, but I think I could love her. Crimson and clover, over and over. Well, if she comes walking over, I've been waiting to show her crimson and clover, over and over. Yeah, good old crimson and clover. I was at a dance at the high school. We were dancing cheek to cheek. I was having one of the greatest moments of my life. What was gonna happen next? A kiss? A date? It was memorable. That is, until the principal, Mervyn House, stopped the slow rock and roll dance music and made everyone dance to the Mexican hat dance.
Oh, yeah, those are good times, man.
True story.
Well, I don't know about you hombres, but, you know, I do love tacos and the Tex-Mex music. But back in our hometown, you know, everybody liked burgers and fries. And the Beatles' groovy music. You know, it was always about peace and love, man. You all dig it?
Yeah. Just like the old boys on Gray Street called it. Yeah, music. Well, speaking of peace and love, I think we all got to come together on this one. Here come on flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got JoJo eyeball, he won holy roller. He got head down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just know how to please. Come together right now. music we were listening to was getting really counterculture and heavy. The scent of patchouli oil could be smelled in the air, as well as some other new Eastern fragrances. Long-haired hippies could be seen gathering on the streets of small-town Canada.
Well, it seemed like everybody in town except our parents were getting into this sex and drugs and rock and roll thing, right?
Sex and drugs and rock and roll. It's all my brain and body need. Well, sex and drugs and rock and roll. It's very good indeed.
Thank you. Very good indeed.
Well, we sure were getting into it all. But you know, we can't really disclose too many details here tonight in order to protect the innocent.
Well, Arden and I are still
Yeah.
innocent, okay?
Yeah, I'm
details,
innocent.
Details, schmeetails, we're innocent.
So am I, Daddy-o, so am I. So am I. I think we hit a red light here.
Oh, I think you're right.
Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, is that flashback?
Purple haze all through my brain. Lately things, they don't seem the same. Acting funny, but I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Purple haze all around. Don't know if I'm coming up or down. Am I happy or in misery? Whatever it is, that girl put a spell on me.
And that's what a flashback looks like.
So there we are, me, Daddy-o, maybe Little Mac, Toots, hanging out on the main drag at 4:20 on a Friday. We had our game on there, man. We'd be wearing our Master John boots, our bell bottoms, and our denim vests, and heading out to the high school dance.
Man, we were too cool for school in those Master John boots. 6'8". Yeah, really groovy, man.
Who remembers?
Oh, yeah. Who remembers our high school dance? Exactly. Who remembers the high
Yeah.
school dance on Saturday?
Who can forget the high school dance? That is, unless you're in the can tossing your cookies again.
Again.
Sven. But the high school dance was our time to rock and roll all night and partay every day. You show us everything you got. You keep on dancing and the room gets hot. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You keep on shouting, you keep on shouting. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. patio as soon as high school started. Bam, it was over. Hey, is that the way you remember it?
What, high
Gone
school?
like that. Yeah, and you and I are working on the railroad.
Oh, yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, no more beads.
No beads, no hippie shit.
No beads on the railroad. Yeah, there I was pressing that separator blowdown button. There I am, pressing the separator blowdown button every 30 minutes.
Whoa, button boy, roll that one up a bit. What is this separator blowdown button you're talking about?
Well, the manual refers to it as the blowcock valve to clean the sludge out of the steam coils. But the way I saw it, I was giving that train an enema every 30 minutes.
Whoa, put a cork in that valve. I think that's enough information for now. What do you guys think? You want to hear more about the steam cock blow coil valve or what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they want a bit more, but, you know, I had a run on the Late Night Flyer one night, and I wrote a song about that job. RJ here wrote the music. It's called Separator Blowdown Blues. Party all evening, to bed at 1. Getting up at 4, well that just ain't no fun. I got those separator blowdown blues driving me right up the wall. I said if you say another word now, I'm gonna get off and crawl. I'll go down to the station, book up my train. Even climbing on the engine is becoming a pain. I got those separator blowdown blues driving me right up the wall. If you say another word now, I'm gonna get off and crawl. Well, my engineer told me you better stay awake. But as I closed my eyes, I said, give me a break. I got those separator blowdown blues drive me right up the wall. I said, if you say another word now, I'm gonna get off and crawl. Well, you didn't press that button. You're gonna get fired. So I said to my engineer, I'm just a little too tired. I got those separator blowdown blues driving me right up the wall. Said if you say another word now, I'm gonna get off and crawl. Robbie. Well, into the station, we do a ride. I'm still a little tired, but at least I'm alive. No more separator blowdown blues, not for a while. All I'm thinking of is payday, and that sure makes me smile. All I'm thinking of is payday, and that sure makes me smile.
That's an original. Hey, what do you guys think about the band 5433? Yeah, man, I think we need to take the time to introduce these fellas. I'm sure they're no strangers to some of you, but maybe others, yeah. Let's start over here on the right from Fort Francis, Couchiching Reserve, right? Mr. Arden Brewer. Oh, yeah. Great pleasure to have Arden on deck with us here tonight. And you've probably seen Chris if you went to the Queen show. Chris is a prolific drummer in Thunder Bay. The Drag Queen show. Mr. Chris Plater. on one of the finest electric guitars in the city with 6 strings, not 5, and no spare guitar because I'll be borrowing his in a minute, Mr. Kelly Ash.
Oh, now railroading was a great job. Being tethered to the phone, you know, it was a strange kind of freedom. Not. So I left the railway in '83 and headed to Ottawa for a higher education.
All right, Casey Jones. You know, the railroad did have its moments, though. Like if you were sitting in the siding in that grass set and it was 40 frickin' below zero and you got no air. Oh,
And-
yeah, good times.
And you ain't got a freaking buck, and it's off to the freaking rodeo. Well, it's 40 below, and I don't give a fuck. Got a heater in my truck, and I'm off to the rodeo. And it's down and left, and down I'm on the right. One fucking boogie, get your right foot right.
Get off stage, got that dude, you know.
Piss me off.
Who remembers that one? McLean and McLean, right? Who fucked that up anyway? Well, you know, I remember working on the railway one summer, a summer job, you know. We were shoveling slag inside black hopper cars, man. And it was hot and dusty. You know, we didn't have the N95 mask that you guys wore for 2 years. No, we had to use the bandanas, man. We did not like the stinking bandanas. That job always reminded me of that movie with what was the name? Paul Newman dude. What was that movie?
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
Yeah, my favorite movie, Cool Hand Luke, and this AC/DC song.
Living easy, living free. Season ticket on a one-way ride. Asking nothing, leave me be. I'm thinking everything in my stride. Hey Satan, pay my dues. Riding in a rocking car. Hey mama, look at me. I'm on my way to the promised land. On the railway to hell. I'm on the railway to hell. I'm on the railway to hell. We're on the railway to hell. We've all been on that railway to hell, haven't we, hell boy?
Well, speaking of hell, buddy, you know, every town has its dark side, right? And our little home of Sweet Chaplonia was no exception to that rule, believe me.
We had our fair share of crime, all right. You know, the odd break and enter,
Oh, yeah, a little bootlegging on the weekend.
arson over at the hotel.
And under the covers, there is always a little sexual misconduct with the choir boys.
Oh, God bless them. God bless them, every one of them, for enriching our lives.
Well, in Canada, we have crimes which are indigenous to this country. And I mean crimes which are unlikely to happen anywhere but here in Canada.
Yeah, here's a great caper for you. The maple syrup heist of 2012. Only in Canada. It was so large that it put a dent in the global supply of maple syrup. Oh yeah, the pancakes at the Hoito were never the same.
Who misses the Hoito? Aw. Well, then, what about... Well, no, let's change the subject then. What about the world's largest art forgery ring up here in Thunder Bay, eh?
Yeah.
You know the Bare Naked Ladies? Well, they're not in that band really, but
Their name
that's
is.
the movie guys.
Their name.
Well, you know Kevin Hearn, the keyboard player, right? Well, he had $1 million to spend, and he started it off with a really big bang. You know, unfortunately, Kevin bought himself a Morrisville forgery, and man, was he pissed. He was ready to use his rocket launcher on somebody, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he should have stuck
gotta
to
know the
craft
music.
dinner. Yeah, but Norval Morrisville, now he was the master, the Picasso of the North. But it was soon determined that some of his relatives were also very talented woodland artists, and they have a court date to prove it.
Yeah, on their way down to...
I hear that train coming around the bend, and I ain't been to Nipigon since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Get on that train and ride. But that train keeps a rolling all down in my home. When we were all just babies, our mothers told us, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I'll hang my head and cry.
Well, now, do you guys remember gathering around the old black and white TV? The old Philco, man, as we ate Swanson TV dinners and
yummy.
listened to Knowlton Nash on the National. You know, we saw the kids across the river in Sault Ste. Marie and down across the border in Duluth as they took protesting to a whole new level.
Yeah, they were burning bras, burning monks, burning draft cards, and it was all on TV. Even Mississippi was burning. Tin soldiers and Nixon's coming. We're finally on our own. This summer I hear the drumming. Forget in Ohio. Gotta get down to it. Soldiers are cutting us down. Should have been done long ago. Na 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 na. So while all that's going on down there, up here we're all in bed with John and Yoko.
You remember that?
And our Prime Minister, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, said the government has no business in the bedrooms of the nation. And Mick, Ronnie, and Keith had no business in the bedroom with Maggie.
Well, down on our main street, it wasn't quite that exciting. You know, Willie, Stoney, and the poor boys were just burning doobies and listening to CCR, man.
Just about supper time. Over by the pool hall, they're starting to unwind. War kids on the corner, trying to pump you up. Wilford picks out a tune and he blows it on the harp. Down on the corner, out in the street, Willie and the poor boys are playing. Bring a nickel, tap your feet. Stoney hits the washboard, and people just gotta smile. Winky thumps the cut bass, and he solos for a while. Poor boy twangs the rhythm out on his Kalamazoo. And Wilford goes into a dance, and he doubles off the two. Down on the corner, out in the street, Willie and the poor boys are playing. Bring a nickel, corner, out in the street, Willie and the poor boys are playing, bring a nickel, tap your feet. You don't need a penny just to hang around, but if you got a nickel, won't you lay your money down? Over at the milk bar, there's a happy noise. People come from all around just to hear the magic boy. Down on the corner, out in the street, you and the poor boys are playing, bring a nickel, tap your feet. Down on the corner, out in the street, Wilfred and the poor boys are playing, bring a nickel, tap your feet.
Woo!
Oh.
I don't know about your corner, but it was kind of like that back in our town. Everybody hung out on the front.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, yeah. In our town, the pool hall was on the main drag, man. It was a real-time chat room.
Yeah, man, that's where we all connected, really. You know, it's an old school kind of hot spot.
Yeah.
You know, we'd solve the world's problems as we played pool, you know, some foosball, and maybe pinball. You know what? King Tut was my favorite game. What was yours? You got a favorite? Okay, Kelly, what was your favorite game? These guys are lame.
Firepower.
Never been to an arcade.
I love firepower.
Firepower. How about Chris? What was your favorite pinball machine?
That's easy.
Artie.
I just like Kiss, man.
I just like it. And Hugh?
Yeah, well, no, I was always finding out who had the best bud when I was in the pool hall, and what bands were playing at the local hotels, and whose camp was going to have the sauna party.
Yeah, and in the corner beside the dispensary was the jukebox. And it was always blasting our favorite tunes like this one here.
I've been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. She's my baby calls and I need you here. And it's 1:30 and I'm shifting gear. When she's lonely and the longing gets too much, she sends a turtle coming in from above. Don't need to plan at all. We've got a thing that's called radar love. We've got an eye in the sky. Radar love. Radar love. Radar love. The first time I heard that song, I was in the bathroom having a schmoot.
And I don't think they were export A's, were they? A.
No. We call them import J's. RJ, but whatever, it's all legal now. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. We've got the right to choose, and there ain't no way we'll lose it. This is our life, this is our song. We'll fight the powers that be. It just don't pick our destiny, 'cause you don't know us, you don't belong. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Well, now, what about the 80s? The we're not going to take a decade. Huey was in Ottawa getting a higher education, and I had traded a railway engine for a Les Paul and a Marshall stack. Man, you'd think the 80s was all about big hair bands, you know, bad tattoos and cocaine. I think maybe they should have named that decade the We Took Everything decade, plus a little extra.
Yeah, until then, bad tattoos were really only worn by sailors, hookers, and crooks. Okay, and Uncle Sharky and Uncle Flappy too, but they didn't have the Celtic knots that were becoming all the rage.
You remember those? You know, by the end of the 80s, though, it was the beginning of the end for smokers. You know, with no smoking allowed indoors. Now, the smokers were taking it to the streets.
Hey, wasn't John Lennon out on the street in front of the Dakota building enjoying his last cigarette when he was assassinated? It was a coincidence. But he didn't even get to finish his smoke.
Well, you know, like JFK, that's one of those moments you're going to remember where you were for the rest of your life. Buddy, where were you? You don't know.
I don't know.
Well, guess what? Get a load of this. I was in, yeah, you got it, W-A-W-A, Wawa. Not a great day.
Yeah, well, after a hard day of working in the 80s, we'd kick up with some pizza and some brewskis and watch some late-night TV. And we loved it when Letterman gave Johnny Carson a run for his money, you know, with Thunder Bay legend Paul Schaefer and the late-night band kicking Doc Severson's ass.
You remember that? Man, they were great times. Unfortunately, though, just like Artie Fufkin up north here, we were getting our arses kicked as we lost the Canadian.
Yeah.
No more Mile High Club. No more
Lido
Lido, that's for sure. Not so funny, Fufkin.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's no denying we Northerners like to have our Fufkin funny. Whether it's on a train or at a sauna party, we're just going to say, wasn't that a Fufkin?
party.
Could have been the whiskey, might have been the gin. Could have been the 3, 4, 6 packs, I don't know. But look at the mess I'm in, my head is like a football. I think I'm gonna die. Could have been me, oh my. Wasn't that a party? Spenny took a grapefruit, wore it like a hat. I saw Danny under my kitchen table talking to the old Tomcat. They were talking about hockey, and the cat was talking back. Round up then everything went black. Wasn't that a party? I'm sure it's just my memory playing tricks on me. But I think I saw Aaron cutting down our neighbor's tree. Could have been the whiskey, might have been the gin. Could have been the 3 or 4, 6 packs, I don't know. But look at the mess I'm in, my head is like a football. I think I'm gonna die. Tell me, oh my, wasn't that a party? Billy Joe and Tommy, well, they went a little far. They were sitting in the backyard, blowing on the side, and somebody stole his car. So you see, Your Honor, it was all in fun. The little bitty track beat down on Main Street was just as if the cops could run. Well, they run as if to see you in an alcohol cage. They could use those 30 days to recover from the party. Could have been the whiskey, might have been the gin. Could have been the 3 or 4, 6 packs, I don't know. But look at the mess I'm in, my head is like a football. I think I'm gonna die. Could have been me, oh my, wasn't that a party?
Oh, come on, Huey. I think you're being a little kind
and you're being way too polite about your party days, buddy. Yeah, we were just talking about how hardy you partied, Chaplow. Now, I've been to Chaplow a few times, and I tells you, the party I went to took a lot more than alcohol to get us going. I barely made it out alive. And it goes like this. This is what the party was like there in Chaplow. Could have been the cocaine, might have been the hash, or could have been the 3 or 4 grams of mushrooms I ate, and I think I smoked my stash. My head's like a spaceship. I think I'm gonna fly. Tell me, oh. Now wasn't that a party? Wasn't that a party? Wasn't that a party? Wasn't that a party?
Thank you, the Irish Rovers, ruined for life.
Thanks, Arden. That was great, man. You know, we partied on, dudes, and after the haze lifted in the 80s, man, I think we all had supersized 80s hangovers, right? What a crazy time.
Oh, God. For me and Daddy-O, who love to rock, we found Napster online, and it was free to download music to your home computer. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now we didn't have to buy vinyl anymore. But that didn't last long, thanks to Metallica.
Man, I remember the teens in the 90s. You know, they were enjoying some most excellent tunage online, dude. You know? Exactly.
Whoa.
Excellent tunage, dude. You know, they were enjoying the grunge scene while we had the bogus classic hit scene. You know, they had the hip-hop scene. Unfortunately, though, both of us had to endure the tragic boy band scene.
It's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. Hello, 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 how low. Hello, 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 how low. Hello, 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 how low. Hello, 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 hello.
You know, those grungeoids were experimenting with everything, like body piercings, bad tattoos, and designer drugs. Now, I don't think you can ever forget the tramp stamp or the barbed wire arm tat. Man, that one was made famous thanks to Pam Anderson's huge forearms. Get your mind out of the dirt.
Millennials, Gen Y, or the net generation, now they were the last of the 20th century kids.
Yeah, you know, these new centurions sure changed things at our workplace. You know, gone were the old water cooler discussions, and stand around, have a coffee, talk about the news. Yeah, they were replaced, sadly, by digital talk and cyber silence.
At my work, I could see how the millennials were weaponizing their devices against each other. It was a virtual no-holds-barred battle between the cubicles.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, you know, in the quick time, with the social media, there's a plethora of new words that came out. You need your Webster's dictionary for this one. They started with transparency. Have you heard of this one? Humble bragging? Maybe adulting? Man, I don't think we were ever ready for that decade. You know, beam me up there, chicken Spock, because I gotta go 54-33.
We've come to think of the double notch as the wormhole decade. And not just like old Earl's Southerns do wormholes. No. We spend so much time living on these things, it's almost like we stopped living in real time.
You know, have you noticed that we just can't seem to put these damn things down?
What?
Hey, my click time, just a minute. I gotta take this one. Guess what? It's from Tom, the technical manager here. He says, "You sons of guns got a show to finish. Get off the damn phone." I don't know whether I'm getting smarter, but you know, with the 500 billion phones out there today, I think that they may be getting smarter. You better watch out, okay?
Yeah. Now, the best-selling book of that decade, and later a movie, was the 50 Shades of the Grey Street Gang. It's okay, sorry, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, maybe 50 Shades of Gray hair, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the guys who were losing their hair, you know, the follically challenged, were now sporting the look of the decade, man. You know, guys who were shaving their heads, polishing them like bowling balls. Mr. Clean just wasn't cleaning toilet bowls anymore. Man, this guy was a fashion icon, driving Cadillacs and drinking pink champagne. Woo!
Well, ladies, men started manscaping.
Oh.
And suddenly, online, you could buy trim kits and ball shavers delivered right to your door. I should have seen it coming, baby. I should have seen the signs. But when I woke up this morning, it was on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, do you remember anything about New Year's Day morning 2020? Well, maybe you were still hungover or playing with that new trim kit. But believe me, it was on.
Yeah, 2020 was right on track. I was leading the life of a retired country gentleman, all trimmed with my new trim kit. You know, winters in the valley, summers on Moody Lake.
Well, the lake was the only place that me and the coif voyageur could meet and enjoy a little drink, a couple of smokes, and do something called the sauna crawl.
Yeah, the Sauna Kings. We shot the sauna crawl video in the bubble on Moody Lake in the year one of the Pandy. Maybe some of you saw it earlier. By the way, Sauna Crawl is available for download on your Spotify and most music platforms, or you can stream it for free on YouTube at your next party.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I do remember that year, and we all had a really bad case of the old cabin fever. You know, thankfully, though, Zoom connected us with a live stream. Now we could partay every night, day drink every day with somebody new, maybe out in Newfoundland if you're lucky. They like to party.
Then one day I'm sitting on my porch, having a coffee, maybe smoking a little train wreck, you know, checking out the latest COVID death stats. And an email arrives. It's an invitation to my high school reunion, COVID style. Welcome back. Your dreams are your ticket out to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you come around, but the dreams have remained, still they turn around. Who'd have thought you'd lead you back here where we need you? Yeah, we tease them a lot, but we got them on the spot. Welcome back. Maybe your dreams are your ticket out of town, but you know, you're always welcome back to your high school reunion.
You know, I think we got a red light here on this one. Well, maybe not a red light, but an amber light anyways.
Yeah.
You know, you might have noticed that Hugh and I have mentioned going back in time in our show a few times, right?
Yeah, maybe more than just a
Well, Hugh and I realized last year in our high school reunion that this is one of those occasions that in life where you're going to really feel like you went back in time.
Yeah, it's like a time capsule. You forgot all about it, and then bam, suddenly there you are, reliving your youth all over again.
Yeah, man. Back in the old arena when we got together at the COVID, we all hung around. And, buddy, did you ever get tired of those same old people asking you the same old questions over and over and over again?
Man, is that you?
You're looking pretty good.
You haven't changed a bit.
Man, where have you been all your life?
Hey, what about that truckers convoy?
Don't get my dump truck in the sandbox started, please.
Are you one of them crazy non-vaxxers? You vax.
Yeah. No, I got them all.
I think the reunion was just a good excuse to forget about COVID and get back to your high school and party on with people your own age and enjoy another day of living. All that while listening to the music you listened to back in high school.
Hey, man, did you ever get used to, all those gangs gathered in their little bubbles, We had the in crowd, they were in their bubble looking pretty fine. You had the geeks geeking in their bubbles and the jocks jocking in the sports bubble. Good times, bubbles.
Okay, Ricky. Well, we were watching for the reunion hookup and the corresponding reunion breakup to happen. And it did happen. Again. Yeah.
Well, here's the little tip for all you Rickies out there tonight. Never, never, never flirt with the ex. You just don't want to be that Ricky.
Yeah, he was a dick back then. He's a dick now, and chances are he's going to be a Ricky Dicky forever.
Well, folks, we just want to ask you, what do you think? Is a reunion a chance for the students to get together and party all night and every day, or is it a chance for the teachers to see the results of all their hard work?
Oh, yes.
Did the seeds they plant grow?
Yeah. I always thought Ricky was going to go places. Unfortunately, he planted that seed with his girlfriend in his final year.
I'll behave, my gold Ricky. Jeez. Perhaps it's just like a poker game where you're going to have to know when to show your cards and know when to hold those cards, right?
And remember, always have an ace in your pocket, Ricky. And don't forget masks, hand sanitizer, phone charger, and your trim kit, because you're going to need it on your next high school reunion.
Hey, Marty, my goldfly. Just a minute. Next reunion, man? You got to get real here. Do you think we're even going to make it to a next reunion? Come on.
Maybe we got to book 2 tickets to paradise.
Oh, yeah.
On the Grateful Dead coach.
Oh, well, I don't think we should switch that train out yet. I think it's a bit early. What do you think? Maybe we should just all sashay on down to the Dome car, tune in, turn on, and drop out with our guitars and have a great time.
People get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. People get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no ticket. You just get on board. So people get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, you just get on board. After all, we're all Casey Joneses of our own trains, and the rails will take you anywhere you want to go in life.
Is that right? Anywhere?
Anywhere. Well, you can't get from Ottawa to North Bay anymore, but most places.
Well, just remember, it's about the train ride, and we hope you all enjoyed your ticket to ride with us tonight.
Right on, people.
Ride to live.
Live to ride. so loud.